$30,000 gold. Don't get mad at me. I didn't say it. But I will say I'm glad you decided to join me again here in the basement. It really is my honor. We've got some major stories in the silver and gold market that we have to talk about. Actually, 3 big key points. Yes, we have a respected analyst who earlier this week talked about the potential of $30,000 gold. I'm going to tell you all about that. Also, we have a company that's wrapped in mystery and intrigue that purchased $50 million worth of gold bars. We're going to revisit that as well. And finally, we have a billionaire hedge fund manager, hedge fund investor, legendary guy who's talking about taking your money out of the dollar and putting it where? Where do you think? Gold. Let's get started right now. I was going to start by telling you the joke about the circus, but I thought it might be a little too intense. So what did this analyst say in regards to $30,000 gold? Charles Nenner, he's an ex-Goldman Sachs guy, owns his own company, super high respected, super smart. I think he was a medical doctor decades ago before he got into the financial services business, had a very successful career at Goldman Sachs. Now he has a company where he analyzes cycles and trends. He has a proprietary system, and in a recent interview with Greg Hunter from the USA Watchdog, Charles talked about the prospect in the medium term for $30,000 gold. In the short term, he's talking about gold actually taking off starting sometime around this May, and he talked about $2,500 gold. So hey, good news. We like Charles Nenner. What do you think? Should we invite him down here to the basement? I think we should. I think even the bear would agree. Even more important than Charles Nenner joining us down here is the fact that right now you have joined me. Thank you so much. I appreciate your camaraderie and your support and your friendship. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. That would really help me out. How about a thumbs up? Now, let's move on to this company that's wrapped in mystery and intrigue. The other day I wrapped up down here in the basement. Susie had made me a turkey sandwich. I went upstairs, turned on CNBC. I watch about 2 minutes of CNBC a day, and they're touting this big move in the stock of this company called Palantir. Have you heard of Palantir? And I'm thinking, it's ringing bells in my head, and I'm eating my turkey sandwich, and they're talking about how Palantir's this super high-tech company in the artificial intelligence field. Stick with me, this has to do with gold, okay? And they're talking about how they work with governments and spy agencies, and, you know, they're like super high-tech artificial intelligence, right? That's the big thing right now. And I'm sitting there, and then it dawned on me. I remembered, I'm like, that's the company that bought all that gold a year ago. So I dug in. I ran back down here to the basement, turned on the computer, started doing some research. And yes, Palantir is the company that a year and a half ago purchased $50 million worth of gold bars. Now, the guy that runs the company, Peter Thiel, he's considered to be like a genius leader, wrapped in mystery and intrigue. Like I said, this company works with governments, helps them with like big data analysis. And the big key here is, remember, Peter Thiel and the people at Palantir, they know about things. They see things that normal people like us don't. And that was why when they bought that gold, everybody stood up and like, why are they buying physical gold? What do they know that we don't know? And back then, the people on CNBC, they were like shocked by this, right? And basically the conclusion they came to was that they were protecting themselves from a potential black swan event. But Guy Adami on CNBC back then had something very interesting he also pointed out. He said, hey, look, it's very interesting that they bought physical gold bars. They did not buy the paper unicorn fart dust gold ETF. And I was going to tell you the joke about the paper, but you know what? It's so terrible. Now, let's move on to our final person who's talking very positively about gold, and he happens to be a billionaire, John Paulson, the billionaire founder of Paulson and Company, one of the most successful hedge funds in the world. Just this week, did an interview where he basically said, get out of the US dollar and go to gold. He pointed out all the facts that we already know, right? The financial mismanagement in the country, the money printing that's gone on, the fact that the world is changing right before our very eyes in a lot of these big developing countries like China, India, Brazil, Russia, that they want to get away from the US dollar. He also brought up the key point that for those countries, those central banks that are holding all this gold, one of the big positive attributes to holding gold, or silver for that matter, is the fact that you don't have any counterparty risk. You hold it, you own it, it's yours. Maybe you're feeling like me, a little bit exhausted from all this good news about precious metals, right? We have Charles Nenner, ex-Goldman Sachs guru, talking about $30,000 gold. We have the company Palantir, who bought $50 million worth of gold. Yes, I know it was a year and a half ago, but it's still pertinent and it's still important. And then finally, John Paulson, super high respected, super smart guy, billionaire, talking about moving to gold from the dollar. But at the same time, the gold price struggles right now. Look, guys, we need to remember the price of gold, the price of silver are never just going to go straight up. This is a long-term deal. I don't have a crystal ball, but I'm telling you what these three guys are seeing when they look in their crystal ball. And me personally, I happen to agree with it. You might feel differently. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Please know that you're always welcome here in the basement, okay? Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, I want you to come back. I'll see you next time.